apple off the tree is a different beast.
A quest undertaken over a decade ago to find a particular apple to make a pie has sprouted into an accidental business for a couple on Gabriola Island.
Marty, being from upstate New York, wanted to use a specific apple called Northern Spy. So off we went in our car looking for Northern Spies. We went to the supermarkets. We drove up to the Okanagan. We turned over every rock, but nobody was growing Northern Spies that we could find.
Then I got involved with the BC Fruit Tasters Association down in Victoria and found that even in my home state of New York, they tore up thousands of acres of Northern Spies and put in the basic commercial varieties of Galas, Golden Delicious.
We decided, well, I guess if we're going to use that apple for pie, which I love, then we should, grow some. So we planted a couple of Northern Spies outside, and it kind of was a hobby got out of hand.
Today, Ravenskill Orchards has about 1,800 young trees and produces 25 different varieties of apples, many of them heritage apples, on a unique breed of dwarf trees.
Through University of Washington and the International Dwarf Fruit Tree Association, we learned about grafting on dwarfing rootstock, and this dwarfing rootstock, very precocious, and within 2 to 3 years we're producing apples.
Both Keith and Marty have full-time jobs. The orchard was supposed to be a pre-retirement project, a kind of hobby farm to grow apples, but it's blossomed into a you-pick business and a cidery.
We just had this little orchard. We got our trees in, they started producing, and then people would stop by, drop in, and ask, well, can we go out and pick these apples? They were just so amazed, and we just got started.
We did take a course down at Washington State University on art of cider making and the business of cider making, and decided we wanted to get into that as well.
I believe it was 2010 we got our first crop of Northern Spies, Macintosh, Old Time Golden Delicious, Cortland's, and we made our first cider, sweet cider, had our friends over, our West Coast friends, and they just went, wow, you need to make that, you need to sell it. And so our hobby kind of got out of hand. We call it our accidental business, actually.
And they have introduced their very own craft-made Gabbie's Premium Hard Cider, a blend of their apples and some they have had to bring in, with a goal to eventually be 100% Ravenskill Orchard apples only.
We went against marketing. Marketing said the public wants a sweet cider, and our cider maker Yona said, no, cider is going to be elevated.
We realized there was a huge sort of dearth in the market of cider fruit. Not that many people growing it, and there's a tremendous resurgence right now in, I guess it came from the boutique wine industry and sort of spread into the craft beer industry, and now cider is kind of taking their turn.
And we're pretty happy. We were one of the first in the market to do a true dry cider. We have quite a talented cider maker, Jonas, and believed, let's elevate cider out of the fizzy sweet stuff in a can. Let's show off these wonderful apples we grow here on the island and in BC. And we're pretty proud of Gabbie's right now being as dry as it is, as different as it is. It's surprised a lot of folks.
Ravenskill Orchards produces about 1,300 cases of cider right now, and happily, they sell out of their apples every season. For Go, only on Shaw TV, I'm Annette Lucas.
Yeah.